Hey everyone, Michael here with Hello Cupcake Its Me, and today is the Wednesday check-in. It is January 22nd, 2025, and isn't it a great time to be alive? If you haven't done so already, please hit like and subscribe, then head on over to hellocupcakeitsme.com to check out the blog. Then make sure you check out the podcast, that it's updated every Thursday at podcast.hellocupcakeitsme.com. And also make sure that you follow me on all the different social medias and check out my book, Carpe Diem Scroto, 365 Daily Affirmations, found at www.cdsthebook.com. So, how is everybody doing? We are 2 days into the new regime, which means that we have 1,386 days to go until everything hopefully goes back to some semblance of normalcy. But that aside, I'm doing okay-ish. Been having some new health problems. Actually, I don't really think that they're new, that they're just coming to light as what they actually are. And that's been high blood pressure. So Monday, I spent all day, like 5 hours in the pool. And actually, let's rewind that back to last Saturday. So Saturday, I had a funeral that I needed to attend, and I don't usually wear socks because I just don't have the mobility for socks. So my back and my side right here hurt so freaking bad. This morning there's a little pain there, but for the most part it's gone away. But it just hurt really freaking bad, and I thought, okay, well, that's one of two things. I have either pulled a muscle, or I have the beginning of kidney stone again. And it was just so goddamn unbearably painful. Well, not unbearably, but to the point of being unbearably painful. So Sunday, my back hurt like I have been beaten with a baseball bat. And then I randomly get this like nosebleed out of nowhere. I haven't had a damn nosebleed since I was in my teens. And so I was just like, okay, what's this all about? And it's like bright red blood, not darker colored blood or whatever. So I was just like, okay. I chalked it up to maybe it just being too warm in my bedroom and my sinuses being dried out. So along with that, I started having like pinprick pain all around this side of my chest. I'm like, okay, whatever. So Monday, I went, even though my back was hurting really bad, I went to the pool. I was there for 5 hours. I got there super, super early, and my friends weren't coming until almost midday, like right around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And so I just decided to stay. Well, as I'm swimming and doing whatever, I'm like falling asleep in the pool. I'm just that tired. I'm like, okay, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this. Tuesday, I wake up and I have the worst case of vertigo and just being dizzy. And I was like, what the hell is going on with me? And I'm trying to like do a like a body system check type thing, just like, is this wrong? Is this wrong? What's going on here? What's going on there? Okay, the very first thing I thought of is let me test my blood sugar. Maybe it's really, really high. Usually, whenever it's really high like that, I get kind of dizzy and I get nauseous or whatever else. And it was high, but not really that high for me. It was 197. Now, I typically run somewhere between 120 to 220, somewhere right in there. And I was just like, okay, let me just see what the hell is going on with this. So I get up and I'm trying to get ready to go do a cold plunge, and then I was gonna go meet my friends at the pool again. And as I'm just stumbling through the house, I look I look over and I see my blood pressure cuff, and I'm like, you know what? Just for shits and giggles, let's do this. So I put on my blood pressure cuff, and my blood pressure was 197 over 132. I was like, oh, I'm on the process of having a stroke. Okay. Um, well, there's really nothing I can do about it right this second. Outside of feeling dizzy and a little nauseous, I am still okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pack up my stuff and go do the plunge. So I get there at the beach and I'm just like, and I didn't plan on getting in. I was just going to be there for moral support. And then I went ahead and I decided to get in, but I was only able to go up to my waist. And that's all I really wanted, because I really wanted, like, whatever was going on with my back, I wanted that cold water to just get in there and, like, um, so then after all that was said and done, I came home and I tested my blood pressure again, and it was 157 over 100, I think it was. And I was like, okay, um, a little bit better, still kind of elevated, but I've been running about 140 to 150. So, okay. My machine's telling me hypertension too. Okay, I know that I have hypertension. So, um, I go in and I lay down for a little bit, and my sister calls me and she's like, "Hey, are you coming in? Or where are you at? I have lunch at 11." I'm like, "Okay." So I get up and I'm feeling a little bit better, but just not 100%. And anyways, I come home after all, like, hanging out with her, and my blood pressure was back down to uh one, I think it was like 130, and oxygen level was 88, and so everything was like kind of good. So as much as I don't want to, I'm probably going to have to start a blood pressure medication. And I have one that has been prescribed to me. I haven't taken it because of the fact that I'm afraid that between my diabetes and the blood pressure medication, that if I'm having an extreme low, that when I go to get up to fix my low or whatever, I'm going to have blood pressure issues and I'm just going to pass out and possibly hurt myself. And, if I pass out from having a low and I am, unconscious, and my insulin pump is still pumping insulin into me, no one checks in on me until like 5:30, 6 o'clock, maybe even closer to 7 o'clock at night. And if this happens at, say, 7 o'clock in the morning, then I could have died by then. And so I'm really scared about the possible what ifs. So I've got to talk to my doctor, let him know what my fears are, and to see if he wants me to take the tablet and half it and see where things go from there. But yeah, I'm not looking forward to this. I don't want to do it, and I'm not looking forward to it, but at the same time, I cannot continue to ignore it. So there's that. On brighter, happier news, I finished my first class of 2025 and got my certificate. So look at that. Isn't that pretty? But yeah, it is from the Center for Healing, and it's a certified trauma-informed coach. And it's all spiffy. So yep, that was my first class of the year. And for those of you who are new to my channel, right on the other side of that stop sign is a hallway, and in that hallway is floor to ceiling the entire hall length of all the different courses and certificates and things like that I have gotten from my online studies. And I also did a refresher course on this is a certificate of completion from it's the Be There certificate, and this certificate is awarded in recognition of the completion of the online mental health training of Be There's 5 golden rules to recognize if someone is struggling with their mental health and to safely and effectively support them in getting them the help that they deserve. And so got that certificate, but no frame for it yet. So yeah. At this point, if I had to go back into the workforce, I would probably enter the workforce as a psychiatrist or some kind of mental health provider. But I love taking these classes because it's helping me deal with my own stuff. Like in the trauma-informed class, I learned so much about myself, and during one of the modules, I actually had to pause the video and take a look at myself. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I do this and this because of this time when I was a kid. And the reason that I have anxiety around anger and all this other stuff is because my biological parents used to fight so much. And if my biological mom had a stressful pregnancy and was in constant state of fight, flight, or fawn, then her high cortisone levels would be produced into me. But my biological mom was also using drugs. So there's a whole aspect of that, and there's a whole aspect of the fact that she smoked during the pregnancy. There's a whole aspect of her own childhood illnesses. She had rheumatic fever and scarlet fever back to back and spent almost a year in the hospital. And so a lot of the psychiatric aspects of who I am come from her and her side of the family. My side of the family, or my dad's side of the family, I should say, um, they have some psychiatric issues, but most of their issues are chemical dependencies. So my dad was a drug user, and an alcoholic. My uncle was an alcoholic. My other uncle was an alcoholic. Um, their grandfather was an alcoholic and had some, I want to say, immigration like trauma, and eventually ended up killing himself. And what else? So, uh, and then on my biological mom's side of the family, my great grandfather, no, yes, my great grandfather was a mental health provider in the early 1900s in Pullman, Texas. And also did like military, uh, from what I understand, and I have to reread his file that I have around here somewhere, but from what I understand, was a military clinician that dealt with mental health issues too. So, um, either way, however, the gene pool decided to lump together to make this, um, I have a lot of stuff going on. And then I just have my own physical ailments and my own mental health. So taking these classes really do help me to better understand myself. And because I'm kind of a social butterfly, um, people open up to me with a lot of their issues, with a lot of like what's going on in their life. Like if there's been sexual abuse, if there's just been regular physical, mental abuse, emotional abuse, if there are unresolved traumas in their soma, like, things like that. And all of that plays a factor into who we eventually become. And negative input and stimuluses help create who we are. So if during your formative years you are told that having anger is a bad thing, if you are told that you should be seen, not heard, if you're like any number of different things during our formative years, and our formative years are 0 to 7, that if during that time period, like you are surrounded by negativity, you're surrounded by bullying, you're surrounded by this, that, or the other thing, um, that affects who you are as a person, because you are looking through life through this lens of, okay, they say it, therefore I am it, instead of this is how I feel. So how I feel is my authentic, genuine self, but I'm not allowed to express anger, because if I express anger, then I have to go into timeout, or I get a spanking, or I get like some kind of negative reinforcement for that. So I'm going to take all of that anger and I'm going to push it down, and it's going to eventually show up as like lower back pain. And so it was a lot of that kind of stuff. Like, if XYZ happened to you during this time of your life, then look for significant factors in this, and this. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah, just learning a lot about myself, giving me more information to um, put into a second book, of which I've already started. I do not know if or when I will publish that book, because I'm still focusing a lot of energy into Carpe Diem Scroto, but this is going to be a continuation of that work if I ever get it situated. And the working title right now is Carpe Diem Vita, which is Seize Your Life Daily. And it's a daily workbook on how to deal with your shadow self, how to do shadow healing, how to journal, how to check in, because we live in this space here. A lot of times we're just in our head. We don't check in with our body. We don't like, okay, when I experience anger, where in my body do I feel that? Do I feel a tightening in my stomach? Do I feel a rapid heartbeat? Do I feel it in my hands? Do I feel it in my shoulders? Where do you experience this pain? Where do you experience this emotion? And what is your feel sense of this emotion? And so, um, where Carpe Diem Scroto was daily affirmations to help you like spur yourself forward, Carpe Vitam is going to be, okay, now that you have your affirmations, here's what to do to help you continue to grow and metamorphose out of this small, broken, insecure thing into the person you want to be. So, if I go on the timeline that it took me to write Diem Scroto, then it is going to be at least 3 to 5 years. And now that I know more of the process and the ins and outs of how to do things, I'm going to do things a little bit differently. So yeah, a lot of information, a lot of good resources, and I'm gonna try to start making it to a group therapy session, and there's one that takes place every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And so I'm gonna try to start going to that and just seeing what that's like, meeting the people, maybe talking to some of the people there. It's pure lead, which is where my area of specialty lies, and that's something that I've wanted to do is like get together a group of people and um, work on them or work with them in solving their own issues. Like, you know, do you have generational trauma? Do you have environmental trauma? Do you have like, do you feel like you're not heard? Do you feel like you're not being seen? What what is it, and how can I help you? Is what I need to focus on. So, um, yeah. So with today being Wednesday, um, that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to head in and go check that out. And God bless Rocketbook, okay? This stupid little notebook has gotten me through my peer counseling, like all of my classes. This notebook has gotten me through. And I may have told you guys about it before, but this is the Rocketbook Wave. And what you do is you use these special pins that are erasable ink, and they're the Pilot friction pins. And whatever you write in here, you can, here you see a QR code, and then there's these little symbols right here. So each one of those, you mark it off, and it goes to a different place. So like one goes to my email, one goes to my Google Drive, one goes to my OneDrive account, so on and so forth. And then after you're all said and done, you can scan this whole thing by taking a picture, and this little QR code will activate inside the app. And then as you take all these additional pictures and then you click save, it will compile it down into a readable PDF. So you have all your notes right there that are digitized, saved as a PDF, and then saved in multiple different locations. And then you stick this whole thing in the microwave. Um, you take a cup of water and then you stick the circle right over the cup and you microwave it. And as you microwave it, it erases it and throws it on the ground. But it erases everything that you've written in it. And so you can reuse it and reuse it and reuse it and reuse it. And it's just awesome. So there's some of the symbols right there. So like each one of those things I have set up to do something different. This is like the very first. This is like Rocketbook Generation 1. They have other Rocketbooks that you take a spray and a cloth and you just wipe it over and it completely erases stuff. You don't have to put it in the microwave anymore. But, several years of usage and I could still see some of the writing in here. And they said eventually after about 5 or 6 years that it may become unusable, but you know what? As long as I can still erase what is in there and the previous information that has been erased doesn't show up in my pictures, I'm going to use this thing until I can't use it anymore. I want to get like an entire Rocketbook suite. They have them in like legal notepads. They have them in different sizes. This one is handy, but I find that I end up running out of room. Just how I take notes, I end up running out of room, and it makes it kind of difficult to get everything that I want done and taken care of. But this is like a game changer, and there's several other like erasable notebooks out there, but I personally have only ever used this one. I haven't tried any of the others, and I figure if I'm going to spend the $15 to $60, depending on what notebook or type of notebook I'm going to get, I want to stick with what I know. I do know that Walmart has some that are a little bit different, and that are like knockoff copies, but for now, this is my guy. So this has been with me for a while now, and I just ordered myself some new pins. Pack of 3 on Amazon is like less than $6, and these last forever. You can buy refills for them also, but the refills for the pins are the same price as getting the whole casing in it. So, I guess if you were one of those people that were trying to cut down on things going into the landfill, then yeah, that would be a good thing. But so you could buy just the pin houses for $6, or you could buy the whole pin set for $6. I haven't gotten there yet where I feel the need to buy the pin refills. And plus the little nubbies on here from erasing eventually run off, and it's just easier for me to buy a whole new pin. So yeah. What else? Entertainment wise, I watched Craven the Hunter, and that was kind of interesting. I don't know how they're going to work that into the Spider-Man universe, since they killed off one of the characters, and Venom: The Last Dance had them killing off Venom. So I don't know if they're going to find a way to bring Venom back, if they're going to still do the Venom, Spider-Man crossover movie. But it was decent. Not one of those movies that I was just like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever. So little not disappointed, but just not what I thought it was. And I always thought that Craven was more of a bad guy, at least from the comic books. That's who he was. He was like this bad guy. Um, so he's more of like a Captain America with animalistic abilities, I guess. So, and then I watched Wicked, and what else have I watched? Despicable Me 4, and I am watching Severance, and I'm all the way done with season 1 and episode 1 of season 2, and it confirmed a lot of the conspiracies, not conspiracy, but a lot of the theories that I thought about the movie or the TV show. And then I am also watching Landman with Billy Bob Thornton. Now, Landman is not one of my usual type of movies, but good nonetheless. And I keep saying movies, I mean to see TV shows, but I'm really starting to enjoy it. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put them in the comment section down below. If there's anything that you would like for me to cover or like for me to, just talk about in one of my videos, let me know. So for now, I'm going to let you go, and I will see you guys during the Saturday check-in. Bye, everyone. Boop.